tutorial, I would like to share with you another type of informational report, in which we call it as a progress report. So a progress report is done when there is a project, there is ongoing project, and usually the project will take over a few months. And this progress report is written to inform our supervisor or our associate or our customer about the progress we have made on a project over a certain period of time. Okay, for example, if it is a construction project, for example, let's say we are being awarded of a project to construct campus, for example, and we are given 3 years to develop the campus. Then every 3 or 4 months we have to submit the progress report to the awarding company or to the institution. Okay, and in another example, it can be for example our PSM2, in which we have to report to our supervisor, let's say once every week or twice a month. Okay, and usually for big project, it is written when it takes well over 3 or 4 months to complete a project. It means, okay, if it is 1 year, as I mentioned just now, it can be 3 or 4 reports that we have to prepare. And usually in terms of payment, if it is in industry, the payment will be paid to us based on the progress we have made, and this is based on the report that we submit to the company to do in order for the project to be completed. Okay, for this purpose, okay, the Gantt chart okay, next will be on the introduction. Okay, that was on the introduction just now, actually. Okay, next, okay, why do we need to prepare the progress report? Okay, number one, progress report can reassure through progress report. Okay, we can reassure our recipients or our customers that we are making progress, that the project is going smoothly, and that it will be completed by the expected date. So when we talk about this expected date, and usually, okay, so usually during the proposal, we are also preparing a Gantt chart. Okay, and Gantt chart is actually schedule or a time frame in which we will follow, and it will involve, okay, it will list down all the activities that are required for us to complete the project. And number two, it will also be able to provide the recipients with a brief look at some of the findings or some of the work of the project. So in this progress report, we can inform the supervisor, okay, what have we done so far. Okay, and let's say we are doing an experiment, okay, the early results or early analysis on the data. Okay, number three, it could be a chance for the recipients, for our supervisor, for example, to evaluate one's work on the project and to request changes. For example, let's say we are working on the literature review, and our supervisor finds that the literature review is not enough, for example, or too much information provided in the literature review. So the supervisor will be able to ask us to make some changes. In terms of construction, for example, if let's say our work is not following the specifications required, and then changes on the materials, on the design, and so on can be made before it is too late. Next, it will give a chance to discuss problems in the project and thus to forward recipients. There will be a lot of problems. That we may face when completing a project. For example, if it is in our PSM, this could be during the data collection, for example, the experiments that we are working on, the machines that we are dealing with. They have problems and so on. These are kinds of problems that we may face in construction. For example, it can be the supply, shortage of supply, weather, number of workers and so on. These are problems that may hamper our project from being smoothly completed. And finally, it is to establish, through our progress report, we are forced to establish a work schedule. This is related to the Gantt chart I mentioned earlier, so that we will complete the project on time. For example, if it is a 1 year project, after 3 months or 4 months, it should be 20% work done. So if it is only 10%, meaning we have to double up our work. What do we need to put in our progress report? So basically, we have three main sections here, and this would become our major sections of our main report. Okay. uh, Number one is how much of the work is completed. Okay. And in this section we will explain the activities, all the activities done. Okay. And number two would be what part of the work is currently in progress. The current work that we are working on. And this one will explain the current activities of the project. And number three, the future work. What work remains to be done. Okay. And in each of these section, we'll also talk about problems or unexpected things happen. For example, during the work completed. What problems did we face last time, and how did we overcome the problems? And also, we can also put some problems here if we are facing any problems in the current progress. Okay. And also we can also we sort of predict what problems we will face in the near future. These problems can be anything, like for example, if we are collecting our data, for example, doing an experiment using a machine, for example, in which our machine is not working very well. Or because of the weather, or in the construction, for example, let's say shortage of workers, shortage of material supply and so on. And this could be problems. And another problem might be in terms of weather, it is rainy season and so on. And all these problems might hamper or slow down our progress. And finally, we would also include the overall progress, how the project is going in general. In which here we have three main scenarios. Number one is whether we are ahead of the schedule. Number two, whether we are on time. Number three, that is the worst case scenario, whether we are behind the schedule. An example of behind the schedule is, let's say today is now is week 10, in which we are supposed to be distributing the questionnaire, but we are still working on the designing the questionnaire, meaning we are behind the schedule. And if it is on time, now is week 10, and we are supposed to distribute the questionnaire, and we are distributing the questionnaire, meaning we are on time, and it could be also ahead, okay, of the schedule in which we are supposed to distribute the questionnaire, but now we have already collected the data and started to analyze the data, so that will be ahead of the schedule. Recipe form it shows that there are three, depending on a few issues here. Number one, what is the size, the length of the progress report? Okay, the length and importance of the project, and also it will be depending on the recipient who will receive and read our progress report. Okay, a progress report can be written in a memo, in which usually it is a short informal report, and it is written to someone within our organization. Okay, and if it is outside of the organization, in which the report is short and informal, okay, someone outside of our organization, the report can be written in a letter. And if it is a long formal report sent to someone outside our organization, it can be in a formal report. Okay, in terms of formats, okay, there are two report formats that we can use. Okay, number one is time format, and the other two is task format. Okay, for time format, okay, basically this follows to what I have explained earlier, okay, in which these three main parts or main sections will be put into, okay, and the introduction will sort of telling the reader or readers, okay, on what project is we are currently having. And then in terms of work completed, all the activities done before. Work in progress is certainly, okay, the list of activities that we are currently working on, and also work to be completed. And within these three stages, okay, we can also talk about budget or any problems that we have encountered or we are facing right now. And in the conclusion, okay, we talk about whether, okay, what percentage, okay, or whether we are ahead, behind, or just on time. Okay, and the next task, okay, format would be on the task format, in which it is basically a combination of task and also time, in which, okay, task one, okay, we have task two, and within this task, okay, we will also talk about how much work have been completed, okay, work remaining, and so on. Okay, those this task format is actually a combination of this time format, and but it is being put into different tasks. Okay, for example, task one is for completing the shopping the sports complex, for example. Task two would be on the mosque, the library, and so on. Okay, and finally, in this e-tutorial, I would like to share with you, as I promised earlier, on Gantt chart. Okay, so this is an example of a Gantt chart. Okay, and basically, usually what we are going to uh, when we are preparing our proposal, we are also preparing one Gantt chart like this one. Okay, so Gantt chart is made of, okay, a table like this one. Okay, and the first column, okay, will consist of all the activities. So we have to list all the activities from the beginning okay, number 1 here until number 14. For example, this is in the case of completing a study or a survey, okay, in which we have to list down all the activities number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the beginning until the completion of the project. And here we have the time frame, okay, in which, okay, these activities are supposed to be conducted. For example, in this case I put this into 14 weeks or a semester, in which, okay, the first activity is forming a group of 3 members, in which, okay, this should be done in week 2. Select a topic and discuss with the lecturer week number 3 and week number 4, and so on, okay, until submission of the report in week 14. So basically, Gantt chart is a plan in which how we are going to complete the project from the beginning until the end. Okay, and if we notice here, okay, it is a progress work that we have to do in order to complete the project. Okay, and here the shade here indicate that in which week the activity should be done, and this time frame is depending on the size of the project or time of the project to be completed. For example, this is 1 semester. If it is 1 year, it can be according to months. Okay, so we will have 1, 2, 3 until number 12, indicating that it's January, February, and so on. Or if we start from June, okay, 2013, okay, and it will end in May 2014. If it is 3 years or 4 years, it can be a quarter report. For example, the first 3 months, second 3 months, and so on. Meaning 1 year we have to prepare this for 3 or 4 reports. Okay, and when we are working on the progress report that we are talking about now, as I mentioned, okay, we have work completed, okay, work in progress, and work to be completed. Okay, let's say that currently this is week 9 here. This is an example. Okay, and we are supposed to distribute the questionnaire and to respondents, and also collect, okay, the questionnaire. So this is the current one. So what we are going to talk about in work completed is, okay, everything from number 1 to number 7, and also the problems that we face here. Okay, and then under work progress, we will inform our supervisor or recipient that we are actually distributing and collect the questionnaire. Okay, and a work to be completed is another section. Again, in each of this section, okay, we will talk about the problems that we face or might face. In terms of whether we are ahead of the schedule or we are on time, okay, let's say, okay, this is week 9, okay, and we are supposed to work on distributing the questionnaire to respondents and collecting the questionnaire. So this is a current one, and we are working on this, then that is on time. But if, let's say, we are still working on the preparing the questionnaire, designing the questionnaire, okay, in which we are supposed to complete that in week 6, but now it is already week 9, it means that we are behind the schedule. Okay, and in the case of ahead of the schedule, for example, okay, now it is week 9 in which we are supposed to distribute the questionnaire, but the one that we are currently working is, okay, for example, activities number 11 and number 12, that is preparing and the findings, okay, and also conclusions and recommendations. So in that case, that will be ahead of the schedule. Okay, so that's it for this e-tutorial. Hopefully you could understand, you could follow my instruction lecture, and if you have any questions, again, do not hesitate to ask me, okay, through Edmodo. So thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.